Hi, YouTube. I hope you're all doing well. I'm not doing too bad today. Um, had a nice conversation with my youngest son, John. He's a 38-year-old. He's doing pretty good, not too bad. Freezing. He's we're in a colder climate, so yeah, he's been doing a lot of walking. So he's yeah, it's cold, but that'll keep you in shape too. So, yeah, especially like if you're wearing winter boots, depending on your boots, if they're a real thick snowpack type boots, like a Sorel or one of those, them boots can be like 5 pound weights on your feet. So, yeah. I'm thinking about boots because Doug picked up a couple of thermalite boots, couple pairs, one for each of us yesterday that were on sale that had been like 40 some dollar boots down to what he paid like 29 or something like that for them. But they're so nice. They just slip on, and then they've got like ties and stuff, but they've got straps instead of all just laces, so you can just slip them on, and they're so light. It was like great, and my feet didn't get cold at all this morning when I went out. So I brought some wood in, and I didn't yesterday. It was too cold. Today it's -1 degrees Fahrenheit and mostly cloudy. Oh, I will be looking down a little bit. I'm going to roll some cigarettes, or at least I'll roll one and then smoke it and talk to you. So that's what I'm doing when I'm looking down, not ignoring you, just doing two things at a time. So, but yeah, so that made my day kind of nice, to start out talking to my kids. So, not always, some days, like, I don't know, he might have tried to call yesterday, but I wasn't in a phone answering mood. I get in my moods, whether I'm gonna do talk or not. And people know that of me too. It's just ones that I had given my phone number out to that were taking advantage of it. What it was is like energy bandits, you know, that don't really call to listen, like, how are you? They don't care. They just say, how are you? So they can tell you how they are. That's an energy thief. So I put a stop to that. I don't do that anymore for people at all. So, yeah, no, I won't. Not even my own kids. So, anyway, yeah, and that can be um, family or friends or whoever, that'll try and take advantage of you like that. Shit, you can meet complete strangers that'll start telling you about their lives. It's like, okay. I have that happen often. Sometimes I don't mind too bad because I'm talkative too, and I'll tell people, like anything really, no matter what the topic of conversation is, you know, if they tell me that their parent had beat them up, I'd be like, join the club, or something, and then we know we have that in common. But it's the ones who will say, I broke my fingernail. Well, I just broke my leg, and then they'll just keep talking about their damn fingernail. That's kind of the correlation of the energy thief thing. So, yeah. So I've been spending quite a bit of my time listening to Andrew Huberman, the Huberman Lab. He's a neuroscientist. It's really interesting. So yeah, um, I listened to that probably till about 2 o'clock in the morning last night because there was other shenanigans going on around here, and I was like, yeah, well, I had to literally squelch a conversation because it was just nonsense. I'm like, no more. Stop. The conversation's over. You know. So I do limit all my conversations with people. So all the time. So anyway, yeah, I guess somebody that I didn't like that I pointed out that they're actually it was narcissistic. I had made that little video about what Trump had said and had a question mark on it, and then somebody had to point out the same thing I was pointing out, so I called him out on it. Pretty sure he unsubbed because people don't like that when they like to tell you the obvious and claim the obviousness of it all for their own. It's like if you slipped on the ice outside and came in the house and told your spouse, well, it's really slippery outside. And they kind of ignore it. But then they go outside and they come back in and they tell you, it's really slippery out there, so be careful. That's the same kind of feeling of what I'm saying. I had already stated something that somebody else wanted to take the glory for. Well, that's okay if that's what they did initially, but not when I did it initially. you know, hey, credit where credit's due. So, anyway, what I knew anyway that this person actually was a part of a smear campaign that was started. I was set up literally to get pissed off and then be called out on it. Well, nothing's really changed in my life, and if that's what they call my true colors, well, expect more of them, gay baits, because I'm not gonna stop. So, just do with your happy little selves what you want to do and mind your own damn business. Don't mind mine, you know? So anyway, yeah, I said it. You heard me. It's my topic about today. Not much different than a lot of days, but is the lessening of the respect and the honor for the maternal parent on this planet, the glue of the family, you know. And no, that isn't the father. So that's one thing the Dark Cabal didn't count on. They thought not only would they destroy the lives of my children, but they thought that they would destroy our relationship as mother and child. And that didn't work, you know. Last night, Doug says to me, "Who loves you?" And I said, "Well, a lot of people, actually." But and then he said it again. And I said, "My kids and my grandkids and a lot of other people, you know." So, anyway. But yeah, it is true. In this society, think about it. Without like computer generated sex and everything else that these people are going to have access to, and you don't know if it's a real woman or not, and it really wouldn't matter. Where does that really leave the real women on this planet? You know, um, to be in an unrealistic world and then try and correlate or try to communicate with reality might put a hindrance on things for people. You know, how are men supposed to respect women on this planet when they're not being taught that by most other men? And they really aren't, you know. That's just my viewpoint. Of course, other people might look at things a little differently, but that's how I see it. I see that things are really going downhill, you know. So anyway, in a lot of respects. Of course, there are people like I could. There's a psychiatrist, Dr. Jordan Peterson, that the whole country of Canada has come against because he's standing up for God and family. He's creating his own like a summit over in England with about 1,000 attendees of other like-minded individuals getting together and trying to, being that it is a doctor of psychology and a theologist, um, getting together with these other people in the same frame of mind that can go throughout the world and teach other people how we can guard ourselves against this dark cabal craziness that they're trying to put on everybody. You know, I mean, directly coming up against the um, World Economic Forum because none of us have consented to their baloney. And if you have, if you think there's nothing wrong with the WEF, um, I don't see that you're going to have a very happy life eating bugs and owning nothing. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's to your liking. Maybe you don't care. Just like I dropped something, I'll be right back with you. But if you see my point as far as going just going along with what these people want to do and not saying anything about it. You know, how are people like if they don't really know, like maybe they'll watch the news and they might hear what the World Economic Forum is or what they think it is, but they may not really even understand, the severity of what's going on, you know. When they say that they're making computers that they hope can outthink people and computers that can do the jobs of people, you know, and then promoting non binary families, this is unnatural. I heard 30% of the women out there are now thinking that never having a child is probably a good thing. That they're being brainwashed into actually thinking that this world is overpopulated. I have enough land for at least 4 or 5 more families to live on it if they needed to and survive. I'm just one person, or I should say, we are this established little ranch, you know. But I mean, we're just one person on our block, um, which is a mile long, but because we live in a rural area out in the country. But so, and I don't know if any of you have ever driven across the United States from east to west or north to south and actually saw how much empty land there is. If you got out there, you may not get lost, but there's not going to be anyone to help you either. You can be out in the middle of nowhere for hours and not see another car. That's the truth. And just right from me, you can drive 30 miles away from where I am right now and head towards Canada on a highway called 210, and you will not see another house, probably not even another vehicle. And the kids that go to school up around there, it takes them an hour and a half one way to get in their local town to go to school. That's no joke. It's a real thing. And this is just one state, and that's only one direction. You know. Now, if you go south of me and east of me, there's more people. But if you go north of me and you go west of me, you're going to see less and less, especially north. You will not run into anybody else. I highly doubt it. You can drive for a very long time till you hit another town and not see another vehicle. And you think, and then if you do see a house out there, you wonder what they're doing and how they survive, but they've probably been there for 100 years, or that farm or that family, or maybe even longer, you know. But for people, and this is wide open country, or it's wooded, or there's lakes or rivers, or there's always provisions of being able to make it on this land in the United States. It's a crazy amount of land that's wide open and free. Free, isn't that a beautiful word? Have you ever felt free? Do you feel free when you get your paycheck and they take those taxes out of there? Yeah, not very, right? No more than we do when property tax time comes around. It's always a burner, you know? It's like we paid for this place and now we gotta pay on it. Because why? Because the government needs money for bullets to send to another country, not because they need money so one of you can't afford gas to get to work or something. I mean, we would gladly help pay another American citizen do something productive, you know. But there's no production for the American people in what they're doing. So anyway, it's a pretty sad thing. It really is. I mean, I've always been anti war, and now I'm faced with being called a fascist because I will not agree to them calling men, women, and various other illegitimate titles that they want to make up and profess and claim and push and threaten that I'm insane because of their insanity. So a tyrant's going to tell me I'm crazy because I see that motherhood and families are being destroyed, and some dude in a dress is threatening my existence, just as I'm just speaking metaphorically. I'm not saying, and it actually has happened to me. A lot of things I speak about, I'm talking firsthand of things that have actually happened to me in my life. I'm not just talking what I've heard from other people. I'm speaking upon what I know firsthand and the way people think and their psychology. So, and I am listening to the top experts on this planet in that area that agree that things are, it's a mental illness. They're tyrants, and it is evil, and it is being pushed on us. Now, I know for a fact, yeah, I truly believe, like, if you're, okay, I'll just use a man for an example in a relationship. If he's not thinking the right way, or you know that he's not walking with the Lord, and um, you can tell in conversations where their mind drifts. Excuse me. Like they're getting outside information on what to say. Yeah, that male body with a female demon inside of it, controlling it against you. Or if you're a man, that female body with the male demon spirit in it, controlling that against you. That's how they parthenogenesis. That's how they are one within the same body. Just like I have Christ's heart in me. Not that I took it or anything, it was given. That's the spirit that I carry within myself. The same as if it were an evil woman, that satanic spirit of that man, which in all reality makes her thinking more masculine and more manly, even in terms of how they interact with their family members and different things. That's the combination of the two. It's like a marriage, um, a union in that respects. So, but they're going to push that men and women um, can actually, like a man can actually give birth, which isn't true at all. Now, if it was a woman carrying the mind of a man, then in that sense, that demonic man did give birth, because that's where that woman's head was at that time of conception. And the moment you're conceived is the minute you start to die. You know, we all know who controls all that on this planet. You know, the decaying part. Oh, that's something I was really thinking. I'm gonna have to lay this on Andrew Huberman. He was talking about like the sense of taste, and I was thinking about the correlation between your olfactory, your nose, your smell, and your taste combination. Like if it's something sweet, or if it's like a strawberry, you smell it, you can just about taste it. That type of smell is a temporary smell. Do you know there's one smell that your taste and your nose has that won't go away, just about will not, no matter what you do, is death. The putrid smell, or something so putrid that you can smell it and taste it at the same time, but you just can't shake it. And that tells me that there must be deeper receptors, neuron receptors in our smell and our taste that goes deeper than the surface level, like sweet or sour or what they call umami. That like throws umami out of the park by about tenfold. It's like it's onto itself, a whole nother sensation. If you have ever smelt death, you know what I'm talking about. You don't just smell it, it like permeates you on your skin, your nose, your taste. You can't shake it. It's not easily shaken. It's like it wants to become a part of you, even within just a smell, if you know what I mean. I was thinking on that when he was talking about the senses and how we taste and smell, but he wasn't correlating how well he did on a small scale, and I'm sure he probably has other videos that go in to how our senses all work together, you know, at different times for different reasons. But I just thought it was interesting when I was talking or hearing him talk. That thought occurred to me because he had said something about how we'll like see or taste something that will uh, like trigger a thought or something in us, that maybe a memory or whatever from something that we had smelt, like maybe from our childhood or whatever, that will trigger that memory. And it's like, yeah. But how it was like more, he was talking about how it was more on a temporary thing. And I was thinking, but it goes a little deeper than that, where it has lasting effects. And it isn't so temporary, and it isn't so easily forgotten, things like that. But anyway, so yeah. Even if you know what I mean, like even like some kind of feces, like dog doo doo, if you step in it or something, still is not as bad as smelling something that has died, you know. So no matter what kind of feces on the planet, still is not as bad as death, as far as the odor is concerned, you And the people that carry a demonic spirit have a more pungent odor about their physical being. It's a fact. I don't just know this from guessing. I started recognizing it more when I worked in the hospitals and nursing homes, and you could really tell the difference between an older person that had lived a healthy life and loved other human beings versus ones that didn't. And if you could just go on your smell on how you would care for somebody, you'd probably be really surprised. Like if you were handing out candy to the kids that smelled good or the kids that were stinky, you know. I don't mean like sweaty, or it's a whole nother thing, you know. Anyway. But yeah, families are in danger. It isn't just the mindset of the youngsters on this planet not wanting to have children. I mean, that's not really a big deal anyway, because people will still propagate. It's the psychological ramifications on their souls and their interactions with other people on this planet. Okay, how about a woman that adversely thinks there's too many mouths to feed on this planet and you don't deserve to live and or eat and let alone have a baby. God forbid you want to start a family, you're going to be public enemy number 1. Period. That is what they're hoping to do with people to cause that rift in between the up and coming generations, you know. So this is what we have to guard about and teach the younger people about so they can pass it on to their loved ones and people that they interact with, that this is a part of the agenda. Okay, if you don't want a child, that's okay, but don't inhibit the woman that does and look down on her like she's going to be dirt because she has an instinct to procreate on this planet, you know? And they're going to try and stop that every way possible. They're going to try and make it look like a woman that wants to have a family and doesn't put her career first, but wants to put her children first. Like there's something wrong in her head because she wants to be a natural woman. And that's exactly what's going on. And that's why I keep harping about the fact that how much danger women and children are in right now. And I am not talking about myself personally. I am not afraid like that. I'm talking about the women and children that are in danger like that because of what's being taught on this planet right now. So I hope you can help me spread the word. I hope you enjoyed this video and your time with me. I appreciate you being here, and I'll talk to you soon. I'll always be here for you. I love you very much. Have a really good night or day wherever you're at. And John, if you're watching this, I love you, sunshine. Stay warm. All of you. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a good night or day wherever you're at.